So every month this year I've invited a booktuber on the channel to pick a book for me, and this month I forgot. So I put up a poll on the community tab and you voted. So here are the poll results of what I'm going to read in November as well as everything else that I'll be reading this month. Welcome to my November TBR. I'm going to give you 5 books I plan on reading this month, 4 that I picked, 1 that you picked, and then 3 others that are kind of maybes, kind of possibilities. We'll see if I get to those this month. I have a couple chunkers, well, 1 real big chunker that you'll see in just a minute. But I am excited to read all these books in November. I'm going to lay them out in the order that I think I'll read them. I know for a fact number 1 is going to be A Song for Arbonne by Guy Gavriel Kay. Guy Gavriel Kay is fast becoming a favorite author of mine. I read Under Heaven last month, and it was a 5-star read. You can hear me talk about that in a future video, probably in my monthly wrap-up. I don't know if I'll do a full review on that book or not, but it is something that I just absolutely loved. So I've read 2 by Kay this year, and he's hit it out of the park in both of them. I'm looking forward to A Song for Arbonne. This looks just fantastic. This is considered one of his finest books, but I mean, he's 2 for 2, so I mean, how many finest books does he have? I think I'm just really enamored with this author right now, so I'm very much looking forward to starting my month with some Guy Gavriel Kay. Up next after that, I'm going to be finally jumping back into Elric. I read a bunch of the Elric books earlier this year by Michael Moorcock, and I'm up to The Revenge of the Rose, which is the 6th book of the 11 in the 3 omnibus editions that I have. I've really loved this classic fantasy written in the 70s and 80s. I love how it's different. The character of Elric, I like him more each installment as I go along. And I've really enjoyed these. And I don't know why it's been several months since I have fit one of these into the schedule. But I'm excited to finally get back to Elric of Melniboné with The Revenge of the Rose. The 3rd book I plan on reading is from the viewer poll. So the books that were not chosen was Michael Connelly's newest book, Resurrection Walk, which is, I don't have one to show you because it's not out yet as I'm filming this. Second one you did not choose is Father and Sons by Ivan Turgenev. I love Russian literature and I haven't read any this year, so even though you didn't pick this, I imagine I'll probably read this maybe in December. And the last one that you did not pick is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. Hope to read this one soon as well. This is Kuang writing literary fiction and kind of a thriller, kind of more modern tale. Looking forward to reading this one. But the one you did pick, I'm very excited to say that I'll be reading The Armor of Light by Ken Follett. So The Armor of Light is the latest installment in the Kingsbridge series, which are essentially standalones, but the location is the same. Kingsbridge is a fictional town in England, and each of these books are set about 100 years apart from one another. And I'm looking forward to this latest installment. I've loved all 4. Pillars of the Earth is one of my favorite books of all time, but all of the other ones are maybe not as good, but they're pretty close. Follett is a master. He somehow writes 800-page books that fly by because he's such a great author. So I'm very much looking forward to reading The Armor of Light. Going forward, I think I'm going to do these polls monthly. I really enjoyed having this picked for me, but it also helps kind of pare down the physical TBR a little bit, which is getting a little high right now. So I think I'm going to kind of put on pause inviting booktubers on the channel to pick a book for me for a while. And I'm just going to let you guys pick something for me every month. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do, because those will pop up on my community tab. I'll put those up about mid-month, and I'm going to probably highlight different aspects of my collection. Maybe which book series should I continue? Which sci-fi book should I read this month? Which fantasy standalone should I read this month? Those kinds of things. I'll try to group those together. But I am thankful all of you that picked The Armor of Light for me. I'm looking forward to reading it this month. After that, I'll be reading some Kurt Vonnegut. I'm excited to pick up Cat's Cradle in November. A student gifted this to me back in May, and it's just taken me a while to work it in, and I'm looking forward to reading it. I read Slaughterhouse-Five at the end of 2022, and it was a fantastic read for me. I just love the way that story was told, and I look forward to seeing what Cat's Cradle is all about. I've heard a lot of great things, and it is one that I've wanted to read for several years, and I've had it physically for about half a year, and it's time to finally crack open the spine and read some more Vonnegut. And the final book that I plan on reading this month, at least on the TBR portion of this video, is Return to Edan by Philip Chase. I did read The Prophet of Edan last month. Look for a review for that. I don't know if I'm going to do... I think I have more thoughts on it than just my monthly review. So look for perhaps a full review or maybe a dual review with Prophet of Edan in there. But I did really enjoy it, and you can at least hear my shortest thoughts on that in my monthly wrap-up, which I'll probably release next week. But I'm very much looking forward to seeing where the story goes, because the ending of Prophet of Edan was fantastic. So we'll see where Chase decides to conclude this grand trilogy of his. All right, for the MBR portion of this video, I chose the 3 books that I've had in my possession the longest and just haven't read them yet. Starting with Grave Peril by Jim Butcher. This is the 3rd book in the Dresden Files series, which frankly should be a book series for me. I love crime fiction, I love fantasy. This combines the two, a wizard in modern-day Chicago. But the first 2 books aren't very good. So I've been delaying going on in the series, but it seems like every time I talk with people about this series, they say keep going because it gets fantastic. And it's a lot of people that I trust. I know Derry's talked about it a lot. Mike and I just talked about it on his channel, and I really want to get back into it. So this is another one that if I don't get to it in November, I bet I'll be putting this on the TBR in December. But this one I might get to at the end of the month. We shall see. Another one that's been in my possession quite some time is the 2nd book in the Legend of the Condor Heroes by Jin Yong. This is a Bond Undone, and look at this gorgeous edition. Now, Jin Yong is considered the Chinese Tolkien. Now, I have been delaying this one purposely because there's 10 volumes, and they've only translated 4 of them into English at this point. I have the 1st volume, A Hero Born, I think it was called, and it's up here. It's the only Folio Society edition book that I own. But even just these paperbacks, these floppy paperbacks, just gorgeous art. I really liked how different this felt. The style of storytelling was very interesting in that 1st book, and I do want to read these. I won't read them fast because obviously there's 6 more to be translated. That may take several years, but I am itching to open this one because it's been sitting on the shelf for quite some time. Maybe in November. Last one, I don't know why I haven't gotten to this one either. Another one I really want to read is Rendezvous with Rama by Arthur C. Clarke. I don't know why I haven't gotten to it. It's a first contact story. Arthur C. Clarke is one of the masters, you know, one of the kind of pillars of classic science fiction. Don't know why it's been on the shelf so long, but hopefully I'll get to it very soon. Maybe it'll be in November. Maybe I'll read one of these 3. Maybe I won't read any of them. Who knows? That's why it's an MBR. It's a little bit of a wild card into my month. But hey, if you've read any of these books that I talked about today, spoiler-free, of course, I'd love to talk with you in the comments section below. I'd also love to hear what you're most looking forward to reading in November. Let me know that as well. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Twitter and Goodreads. I'd love to interact with you there. As always, thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.